is something that I often reflected on, and I've told others that I didn't choose this topic, that this topic chose me. My dissertation was about the out for confinement policy, which is a policy that has been in place for a long, long time that affects women that live in northern and remote communities. And what it is, it requires women to leave home when they are about to have their babies. So I began my career in working among Indigenous people in the north, and I was a healthcare provider that enforced the out for confinement policy. I always knew that intuitively there was something just wrong about what we were doing, and watching the women grieve and suffer because they've had to leave their families behind or any system of support they may have had in the community. And it just drew me. And I thought for many years, there's got to be some impact on the health of the mothers and babies here that we're missing. So what I found was the out for confinement policy was associated with lower breastfeeding rates, the impact on the size of the baby, and lower rates of prenatal care. What was different about my research is that I was very open. I have this bias. I'm Indigenous, I'm Anishinaabe. I have experienced this policy. I have enforced this policy. I have certain beliefs and practices that I learned around childbirth. All of those are going to come into play when I do my research. So I'm very upfront about it. And I think that's what's different about using a decolonizing approach, is that you really peel away all those layers of neutrality and you're just open and honest about it. That I do bring all of this baggage with me, and all of that is going to influence how I do this research, of course. So I'm hoping my research is able to influence some policy changes at the institutional level so that we can open up the space for Indigenous people to practice their culture and celebrate birth the way we had once done in the past, and that we're able to return birth to those communities that are able to have birth take place in their communities, and open up the conversation around decolonizing birth.